Today we're chatting about the process we have taken of moving into an RV and what that process has been like for us. And this is part 2 of the series. Part 1 you can get below. We're going to be moving into the RV on July 27th-ish. And we're posting the house for sale at the beginning of August. So we've had to do a lot of decluttering.
Like selling stuff?
Selling stuff, recycling stuff, trashing stuff, all the things. And one piece to this process has been getting a storage container. And we did this specifically because we weren't sure if this was going to be a full-time thing for a long time. And we didn't want to sell everything and then find out 12 months from now that, oops, actually, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
Also, I think it's that we don't essentially know what we want to keep or put in the motorhome
just yet. There's some things where it's like,
we won't need those.
Do we need this in the RV?
Yeah.
Do we not? So the way we determined whether or not we wanted a storage container, and I have a little calculation on my phone, we rented the storage container for 12 months, and that costed us $2,300. And the contents in the storage unit are worth about $9,000. So if we were to lose it all, we would spend $9,000 buying it all back. And if we were to sell these items, we would make about $2,000. Like the couch we're sitting on, really expensive couch. Nobody is going to buy this couch for what we paid for it. So we'd actually lose out on a lot of money. So either we can sell things for $2,000 or we can keep them and spend $2,300. So we opted to keep them for now and test out if we love the life of living in an RV full time. And that'll cost us, so say after a year we've spent that $2,300, we decide, you know what, actually, we really love RVing, so let's sell all of our stuff. Technically, we only lost $300 by that decision. But if we decide in a year that we want to keep all our things and we want to settle down and it's not the life for us, we will not be out $9,000. If we would have sold all that stuff, we would have had to buy all new furniture. So that's kind of the math that we used, and it really came down to the value of things in the storage container. So there were a couple questions about the timeline from the time we decided to perhaps maybe live in an RV to the moment that we move into the RV and get going.
Yeah, but I think it's important to understand that the timeline is going to be different for different people.
Yeah.
And where you're at. Given that we have our own business, an online business, and we were Explorking before we even got the new motorhome, Explorker 2, I think it's a bit different in a way. And I think some people shouldn't feel pressure to keep the same timelines. Also, because we can move pretty quick. We don't have kids, we get dogs, we have our business, we have that passive income. So I think the timeline is probably going to be different.
Yeah, so we started around May 30th, and it's now July 13th, and we definitely need 2 more weeks to just sift through more things. The basement is done, the garage is done-ish. Those are kind of the 2 things that have taken us along. Oh, 3. Actually, there's 3 things. The basement, the garage, and the closet. My side of the closet has been really difficult. And we'll get through some kind of tips and tools that I used to massively...
Garbage bags, the biggest tool.
No, to get rid of that. But yeah, you're right. The timeline's going to be different for different people. I mean, we were kind of in a place where we were already Explorking, just not full time. So it was sort of okay, now we're doing this. And the process from May 30th to July 13th has been a lot of decluttering and recycling and getting rid of things that we don't need. So let's chat a little bit about the strategy that we've used to get rid of things that we don't need.
Easy if I haven't used it in a while. For no reason. For example, the chop saw in the garage. I haven't used it in a while because it was too cold outside and the garage was too full. Doesn't mean that I want to throw it out or I'm not using it. But anything else, for example, here's one. Soldering iron. I had to get a soldering iron to fix something a long time ago. It was the old TV, remember? I soldered the resistor in there. And I haven't touched it. I haven't seen it in 3 years. Gone.
Yeah, there was a pile of stuff under the stairs in the garage I didn't even know existed.
Like a watering can. Who uses a watering can when you get 3 hoses?
Yeah, it's true. There are a lot of things like that. So I think, and my strategy came from a different place of, does this thing make me feel good? Before I thought about practicality, because if I look at my clothes, I mean, 5 sweaters, that's totally practical. What if I want a pink one and a blue one and a green one? And so I came at it from a different place of, when I put this item on or when I'm using this item, does it make me feel really good?
That's fair.
Yeah. And then if I say, yeah, it makes me feel good, then I'm like, Leanne, is that practical? And that's kind of how I went through the closet and a couple of things. So we had 6 piles. When we were going through stuff, we had a donation pile, recycling pile, storage pile, stuff that went into the RV, stuff that went into the trash, and stuff that we were selling.
Yeah, and I think also like we wouldn't throw something out that we need for the motorhome, for the RV.
Yeah.
Like the tools, for example. There's a lot of tools that we'll need, we probably should have with us when we're traveling. Like a pipe wrench and wrenches and drills and stuff like that. Just because. And the 3D printer.
Yeah, it's totally coming with us. But I think I was really proud. I think the only things we really threw out were things that like a donation center wouldn't even take. Like it was just garbage. And we spent $300 and we got one of those big bins delivered to our front driveway, and we just loaded it up in one day. Not even a day, it was like 4 hours. Yeah. And then we were done. But we've been taking trips back and forth to the donation center. I'm dropping off a couple bags of clothes at secondhand stores of like places where we could probably make money, because some of those clothes are really nice. Something that I noticed, especially with clothes, is that you need to do repeat decluttering multiple times. So I went through the closet the first time, like at the end of May, and I picked out a bunch of stuff that I didn't want to use and that I really didn't like, put it in a pile, donated most of it because none of it was secondhand stuff. And then the second time I pulled out even more, and the third time I pulled out even more. I'm on my 5th time going through the closet, and I bet I could do it one more time. There are a lot of things that I have in my closet that I have not worn in years.
Yeah, I guess if a system like that or any system helps you, I think it goes for business as well. Either like some parts of your business you just kind of know you don't need a system for, and others you better suited to have a system of sorts, then why not use it?
Yeah, and I think the repeat decluttering helps because there are certain areas of the home that I find that I have more attachment to, like my clothing. A lot of my stuff in my office I had a hard time going through, just because I wanted to keep it all, because I was like, but what if I need it? So the first time I did the decluttering was like at the end of May, and then I did it again the other day in my office, and I was like, wow, I haven't used this stuff in over a month, so clearly I don't actually need it. So the repeat decluttering can be nice because you're going back and looking at things a month later, 2 months later, and realizing that you didn't actually use it or need it.
I just had an epiphany.
What?
The reason why I have so many things in the storage locker is because I only get things that are important to me that I want to keep.
Let's talk about emotional attachment to things.
I think emotional attachments, not emotional attachments, but we spend a lot of energy and money on, for example, renovating the upstairs in the house here and the backyard. I mean, it's a really beautiful backyard, and it's not that I'm attached to it, but I mean, a lot of energy went into going through the stress of the renovations and whatnot and the cost of it all. So I think that's kind of sucks. It's almost going to be in a way for nothing. Not really, but it will be. Or not. I mean, so that's one thing.
Uh-oh.
FedEx. Probably cut this part out. We cut it together. Fade to black.
Oh, he's gone.
FedEx gone.
So I think that's where we're at with the process right now. We'll probably give you guys an update in about 2 or 3 weeks about the actual process of moving into the motorhome and finding room for everything and really simplifying stuff. We're actually not bringing a lot of trinket things. We want it to be very clean in there with very minimal stuff. And so, yeah, it's gonna be a process. So we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks with that, and we'll see you guys next Sunday with another video.
Yes, we will.
Bye.
Bye.